So
Yeah.
as far as like this is kind of in a different
Yeah.
direction, but we've got these emerging retail partnerships, right? These stores that are, brick and mortar type stores. And as we've kind of talked about, I'm a small business and I'm looking at a massive big box partnership, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, obviously to make this deal come to fruition, I'm going to need to have some employees, right? But how do you hire for a position that you don't have yet,
Yeah.
or how do you
Yeah.
think about that?
What types of employees are we talking about here? You need people like on the line making snacks, or people that are in sales, making phone calls with the retailers? What types of positions are you going to be looking to hire for?
So therein lies the issue, right? So if we say get into 1,000 of this retailer, I'm gonna probably need someone to just on the logistics side to help me manage getting the product from my co-packer to the three, like, to the warehouses of the retailer, and then just some of the nuts and bolts. I hate to, it's the unknown unknowns that keep me up at night, where I go, okay, is there's there's a lot
Yeah.
of this stuff I just don't know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the harsh reality is, when that order first comes in, I would just be prepared to tell all your family and friends that your calendar's full for the foreseeable future. You're going to be working 16, 18 hours a day for some period of time. I mean, it's a tough spot, and I've been there where you're still bootstrapping, like you don't have a rich uncle, or some money tree in the backyard, and so you can't hire this person until the order's in, because you can't afford them yet. And even when the order comes in, can you really still afford them? Because you got to go buy all the inventory. The good news is that there is PO financing, which is that's actually one of the relatively easy things to get in this space. And so I would definitely look at that. I would definitely look at using a bank or a company that specializes in PO financing. You get a purchase order from a large brick and mortar, not like national retailer, like a Target, a Whole Foods, a Walmart, any, Safeway, Albertsons, whatever it is, they're going to respect that PO, right? Like they understand that small businesses are in this predicament all the time, and so they'll finance you to go get the inventory, and then maybe with your other cash, you can then justify hiring this person that's good at logistics. If you feel like that's the thing that's going to take up all the time, let's say it is a Target that places the PO and they have 5,000 stores nationwide that you have to get 6 bags of macaroons into every single store. I don't know exactly how they handle logistics, or maybe you send 2 pallets to every regional warehouse. I'm not sure exactly how they handle that, but someone has to be on top of that and not screw it up, right? Because like you get one chance with these guys, you screw something up and don't follow their crazy rules perfectly, you're just out. And so, but even still, like, I mean, in today's hiring environment, you're not going to get that person on board and trained up and everything on day one. So I think that the reality is that you're going to have to learn how to do it yourself, do a really good job with it, and at the same time juggle the ball of like placing the ad on Indeed or wherever it is, trying to hire that person, get them in the door, eventually train them up until you can like take a weekend off again finally after 3 or 4 months of insanity. But this is kind of the risk that you take when you go. I mean, it's all of us want that $1 million PO from one of these big retailers, and this is the chance to become like the next big national keto brand that gets recognition, that sells for 8-9 figures. But like in order to do that, like there's all these companies that have had that experience, have had the many late nights, strained relationships, all the things that come along with it to get over that hump in the early days.
That makes total sense. And yeah, I guess there really is no way to hire someone if you don't know what to tell them to do. I guess I'm just a little, I don't necessarily even think that the logistics are going to be the most time consuming thing. I think that's maybe just a little bit of tenderness, because I've had Amazon partnered 3PLs misplace pallets of coconut macaroons for 3 months, and then I get them when they have, almost no shelf life left, and end up having to do stuff like fire sales, which, hey, when you're on Amazon, it hurts the bottom line, but at least Amazon's not calling me up and saying, hey, you can't sell on Amazon anymore. The kind of thing that I think about is if a Target says, hey, we need these here, if I don't do exactly what they say, you can jeopardize the whole contract. So I guess, but there's a ton of things like that on all the fronts. So
100%. And I don't think it's that. It probably, the unknown's the overwhelming part, right? I don't know either. I never sold to one of these types of companies, but like, we'll figure it out. Like, you'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That's why we're entrepreneurs. Like, whatever it is, like, you figured out all this other crap to get to the point you're at. Give yourself some credit for that. It's hard, obviously, to like, I know this personality type. I'm it. It's hard to give yourself credit for learning how to open up an Amazon account and get stuff in there and deal with all their different labeling requirements, and the fact that they lose inventory and tracking that down, and, creating a listing and getting the imagery up there, doing keyword research. And then you also launch the Shopify store. You have a WordPress site. You're talking to retailers. You're in the door. You figured out all this stuff. You're going to figure out how to get the damn inventory to them, deal with the logistics of that. It'll be crazy and overwhelming and like a fire hose hitting you the day that it happens, but you'll figure all that out. And they're more reasonable, I would imagine, in so many ways than Amazon. Like, you got a tracking number that shows the stuff like arrived. If they actually say that it didn't arrive, like, they're going to to believe you, versus like Amazon's like, yeah, good story, man. We're not going to pay you back for it, or they don't make it easy at least. And so, I have to imagine that operation's probably more streamlined and efficient and reasonable than Amazon.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Hopefully, a major retailer is not going to tell me that my bread mix is a pesticide and then take my listing down for 5 days.
Right. Yeah. Fun times. # fun times. But again, you figured out how to get around that too, right? So, you'll figure these things out as well.